We're here, we're queer, ready to talk about our vaginas. Yeah, let's do it. There we are. All right. We're ready. Hi babes, welcome back to my channel and to another tea talk. Also, happy Valentine's Day. I hope today you swoon the heck out of yourself and make all of your loved ones feel extra special. Speaking of extra special, clearly this tea talk is a little different. I'm here at Two Spirit Health Services in Orlando, which is a one-stop shop for all things health related for the LGBTQ community, from primary care to therapy, adoption services, transgender specific related wellness, all kinds of great things, all with an LGBTQ focus. I am a big proponent of mental health, as you guys know, but I'm also a huge proponent of sexual health. So vaginas are like my favorite thing in the entire world, and as a lesbian and as a woman, it has been my experience that a lot of women do not have an open and transparent relationship with their vaginas. So I thought I would partner with Two Spirit Health Services, and in honor of V-Day, we would answer some questions about vaginas. Here with me is our lady parts specialist and ARNP, Chris. Do you want to tell them a little bit about your background?
I started out as a mother-baby nurse, so I did see a lot of vaginas for quite a bit of time. From there, I decided to work in Planned Parenthood, doing STD health, and also doing pap smears and things like that. And I decided to go back in and try this whole new thing with Two Spirits and HRT and helping the LGBT community learn more about their bodies, taking care of them, helping them reach their perfect selves.
Thank you so much for being here. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to send me some questions that you had about your vaginas. And you guys sent me so many, which is exactly why we're doing this video, because you guys have a lot of questions. But in honor of Valentine's Day, we're gonna answer 14 of them. I also like, how fun is this? Like, I'm just like sitting in the start. I'm super comfortable with this kind of thing. I love going to the gynecologist. But a lot of you guys have never even been to the gyno, so a lot of you had questions about what actually happens at the exam. Chris, tell them what happens.
Basically, we go through a health history and a sexual history. Any of your family history, that we take note of that, if there's been cancers in your family, breast or cervical. Well, this is actually more of the last part of the sketch here, you know, so you don't really put your feet in the stirrups right away. But look how tiny this is, okay? I'm just gonna give you an idea. It's like baby duck lips. And if you think of the opening of the vaginal like that, and we're putting it in, we slide it in just very gently. Yeah. And then whoop, I see what I need to see. Looking good. We have these wonderful little things. This is a spatula. You go in, you just brush it a little bit, take it out. Don't think that we stick this all the way in. It does not go all the way in. You just go in just gentle enough to touch your cervix. We're done.
Oh, and also she has this like ginormous thing of lube as well.
Lube is good, no matter what. And I promise you I will lube you.
Oh, I broke it.
Oh, no, you didn't actually. That's actually to gauge it, to hold it open so I can get my samples.
So another question was, how often should people have pap smear, gyno check, and tested for STDs?
Normal parameters would be under 30 every 3 years with a normal pap, over 30 every 5 years, and at 40, of course. In addition to the breast exams, you will add an actual mammogram every year.
So not that frequently, guys. You just gotta get in here on occasion, make sure everything's good to go.
STDs is every 3 months or annually, or anytime you have a significant partner change that you're not sure about.
And even though I am a lesbian woman and only banging chicks, I should still also get checked out.
Absolutely. And the reason for that is just because while a lot of things are passed through semen, there's also stuff that's just passed orally as well. If we're using toys and we're not cleaning them in between uses and things like that properly, yes, you can infect somebody. It doesn't have to be an actual penis that actually does the damage.
Let's talk discharge and wetness.
Sure.
Is discharge normal and having things be a little wet down there pretty much all the time?
Sure. You go through different phases during different cycles of your time. You can be clear and stringy, and sometimes you can be a little thicker and white or yellowish even, and that's normal. That's not anything to be worried about. What I would be worried about is like dark, frothy, smelling, kind of fishy odor, because the vagina is not really supposed to smell like fish. That is just an urban myth.
You are so great, because that's question number 4. What is a vagina supposed to smell like?
Well, everybody's scent is different. I do highly recommend smell yourself on a good day. You know, it's okay to touch yourself and be familiar with your lady parts, I'm just saying. So, and masturbation is totally normal, whether you're a man or a woman.
It's why I'm so happy all the time.
We have a natural scent. Yes, it can get a little musty, but that's all depending on your clothing, what you're doing.
Right.
Obviously, if you exercise, yeah, and that's normal too. You're gonna get more sweaty and stuff like. It smells like bread, might be yeast, okay? Our pH is normally 4.5, which is normally very acidic. And usually when we have yeast, we wind up going a little bit more towards the base side. Same thing with vaginosis, that's the fishy smell, or trichomonas, which is actually a parasite. But they are both treated the same, just with the different dosages of medication.
Cool. What is a vagina supposed to taste like?
I don't know, mine tastes good. I like it.
Hey!
But that being said, everybody likes their own flavor. In general, it shouldn't really taste much like anything. I guess if you were to, like your own boogers really, if you think about it, I wouldn't think it tastes anything different. Like it doesn't taste nasty.
Put down my tea. I got a lot to say about this. Question number 6 is, what is a vagina supposed to look like? As a lesbian, I've seen a lot of vaginas, but also as a showgirl, I spent a lot of time in dressing rooms getting changed with lots of different women, and I will tell you, there's snowflakes. I've never seen a vagina that looks the same as someone else's. The variations are beautiful and amazing and remarkable, and there's so many different shapes, sizes, etc.
I've seen a lot of vaginas too.
Maybe more than I have.
Probably. To me, it looks almost like a flower if you think about it, a rosebud. If I was to describe it, like the way the rose folds into each other.
That's beautiful.
That's kind of like how I would think it would look like.
I love vaginas. A lot of you guys said that you were insecure about the way yours looked, or you didn't want someone to go down on you because you thought that you would be embarrassed by the way your vagina looked. I'm telling you right now, whatever yours looks like, it's normal. It's gorgeous. Revel in the fact that you have a beautiful rosebud vagina happening down there. Number 7, someone has, probably many people, but this particular question was having strong smells after sex.
They do, and they can get a little bit more pungent, but it also depends on a man's chemistry with your chemistry, or a woman's. Your chemistry could be more acidic than your partner's chemistry.
Right.
And those mix together. So yeah, it might be a little bit more pungent, and that's not a bad thing normally.
Right.
The only time it's really a bad thing is like it's when there's a fishy odor and it's so pungent that, you know, even your partner won't notice it. It'll be something that you guys are like, wait a minute, something's not right.
Right. If things just smell a little stronger, you just banged. How to clean your vagina, do's and don'ts. Women have been fed so many lies about douches, about fragrances, that your vagina is supposed to smell like a flower. It looks like one, it doesn't smell like one. I don't know if that's good. Tell them the do's on how to keep your vagina clean and the please God don'ts.
Yeah. The thing is that when you're cleaning it, you want it to be the least abrasive. It doesn't need to smell like a whole bunch of stuff. I always recommend Dove unscented. You don't have to clean inside the vagina. The vagina naturally cleans itself. Things you won't do. You won't be using douches. Douches actually mess up with the acidic environment and actually can introduce, believe it or not, bacteria into there. We have natural bacteria we don't want to be messing with.
So it's literally just cleaning basically the outside.
Cleaning the lips and the labia and the hair and stuff like that.
Unscented.
Unscented things. All of that skin is very sensitive. If your face is sensitive, imagine what your vagina is.
Is sex on your period gross? Fuck no, it's fantastic. But go on.
And it sounds funny, but it isn't. It's actually really good for you. It actually increases your endorphins and actually helps with the pain. Maybe you might not be interested on the first or second day, but by the midweek, you're definitely going to want to have some kind of orgasmic help there to get you through the rest of the period.
Girls who don't want to do things to their partner when their partner's on their period, get over it. Also dudes, get over it.
There's nothing you can't stick a blanket down or go in the shower even.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be messy.
Go for the gold. This is just my personal advice and it's backed up by a medical professional. I really like this question. I think it's really interesting and really needs to be addressed. Does a trans man need to come in for a gyno checkup?
Yes. So even though they're transitioning, they still have the uterus and ovaries. And some people do elect to have them taken out, but if you still have them, then it's important to still get your normal checkups. Cervical cancer does not just change just because we're changing, you know, you're becoming a butterfly. So
how to cope with vaginismus from trauma and how to get over a bad experience with a doctor. Vaginismus is like
it's like a tightening literally of that area. You're not able to relax, okay? So it makes sex painful. Part of it is psychological, the other part of it is you need to learn to relax. How do you do that? You know, practice with yourself, by yourself, or you can see somebody about it to help you get over whatever it is. Usually PTSD plays a big part in a lot of that.
Right.
So that means you would need to see somebody in order to help you get over those feelings because you're literally clenching every time.
Right.
And that's what's causing causing pain. That's a muscle down there. It will atrophy if you're not using it properly, and it will also become rigid. It could be a PTSD thing, could be something that happened to you trauma-wise, or maybe a doctor hurt you. Maybe they weren't gentle enough, didn't tell you what they were doing, and went in and you weren't prepared for it, and it created a bad stigma for you. If vaginal dryness is due to it, there are things that can remedy that. There's Replens. Replens is over the counter. It's just an ovule that you would put in that would create vaginal moisture that would help with that.
What's a queef?
Some people call it a vaginal fart when you really want to be honest about it. But you know, when friction's created air, it is a pocket inside. Don't be afraid if you do queef. It's just your body releasing that air, okay? It's not meant to be in there, so it's just from the friction of sex.
Are there any supplements I should be taking to keep my vagina healthy?
I mean, other than a standard vitamin every day, there's nothing that you really have to do for vaginal health.
Our last question, question number 14. Things to do before and after sex to keep your vagina in tip-top and pH balanced.
Sometimes I'll tell people to pee before sex and then pee after sex. What does that do? Ureters on females are much smaller, okay? And even on males, it wouldn't be a bad thing to urinate after. And what that does is just clears the tract a little bit. Any bacteria will get rushed out because the urine is actually acidic in nature. If you do these practices and keep a healthy vagina, most likely you're gonna avoid having
pH issues.
pH issues or even a UTI, which is a big thing.
Those are our 14 questions about vaginas. You guys had so many more, so I want to encourage you to, I mean, there's Google, obviously, but also talk to your healthcare provider. Get really comfortable with your vagina, guys. She's part of you. She's amazing. She's beautiful. Be really honest and transparent with your partners. Start focusing on your sexual health as much as you do about your physical and mental health.
Come here, give me a hug.
She's amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. Two Spirit, thank you for partnering with us.
Come down and see us.
Yeah, come on down. Make an appointment here for your mental wellness, your physical wellness, primary care, vag health, all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.